Welcome to Art is Human, a podcast where we explore the artistic journey, one unique and everyday perspective at a time. We'll talk about where we've been and what we've accomplished, what we're working on right now, and what we're looking forward to. Whether you're still finding your voice in medium or you're already a seasoned pro, this podcast is for you. Be reminded that by the very definition of art, your humanity makes you an artist. I'm your host, Steph Sharkey Schultz, with 15 plus years of expertise across multiple market verticals and creative mediums. Let's dive in and get inspired. In this episode, we get to meet Theresa Rodriguez, a fellow filmmaker friend of mine based in the greater Austin area of Texas. We'll discuss and explore how to remain creative and inspired even during times of low opportunity, as well as share the anticipation of the great things we're looking forward to. We also cover topics like the importance of networking and how to find collaboration in the most beautiful ways, including motherhood. Welcome to Art is Human podcast. I'm your host, Steph Sharkey Schultz, and we're going to talk about all things art. On this episode, we've got Theresa Rodriguez. She is a longtime friend of mine. We did public access together, several shows. Terry, introduce yourself. Take the floor. It is yours.
Hi. You couldn't have given me a better introduction. I have some, experience here, there, everywhere, and always looking for more. So, that's just about all I've got on my resume. Like, that's literally what my resume says.
I love it. We've done, she's been a producer, she's been a technical director for Up Late Austin. We've done music videos together too. Last summer we worked on my music video, and God, you did like a ton of stuff on that too. So, in the Texas film industry, we wear a lot of hats. So.
Mhm. Mostly because it's sunny.
Yeah.
Oh, that took so much out of us. Thankfully, you took care of us and you kept
Yes.
us fed and hydrated and entertained. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to be a good boss now.
The
Okay.
best.
Well, geez, takes one to know one.
Stop. Stop. Why'd you stop?
Well, what have you worked on lately, if anything, that you'd like to talk about? Or what's the next project you're looking forward to?
I haven't worked on much lately other than just kind of networking and making
Yeah.
sure that my foot's, still, I've got one foot still in the door or past the doorway. I never understood the phrasing on that. So mainly it's just a matter of making sure my name is still out there and people still remember me, which they do. It's
Yeah.
always a nice feeling, being I feel like a little fish in a small pond. But later on, when the time is right, when I have the means, when I have a little bit more know-how, I definitely want to work on more music videos, do some more directing at Austin Public, and kind of just, shoot from the hip, so to speak. So I mean, I'm always ready to collaborate with whoever has an idea, like just kind of brainstorm off of that kind of that symbiotic relationship.
I think that's awesome. That's a great answer. You're down to party when the time is right. She's prepared.
Whoop, whoop.
That's the way to live and that's the way to be. I love your positive, upbeat attitude because we know that film's a little slow right now. It's a little bit, there's a lot, when the memes start going around, you're in trouble. Anyway, yeah, just having a positive mindset and being ready to rise to the occasion when an occasion presents
Absolutely.
itself. It's
Yeah.
paramount.
I was talking with a filmmaker friend of mine, not sure if I can name drop, but he was working out of North Carolina
Hmm.
and mentioned that he might come to Austin if the price was right. Anyways, he says, what have you done before? And I said, this is my resume. I've directed, I've produced, I've camera operated, I've focus pulled. He's like, focus pull? Why would you ever want to do that? I'm like, I wanted to try it just so I could say that I don't want to do that in the future. Because I honestly, like directing didn't seem like it was my thing until I put on that headset one day and I got to literally call the shots. And anybody who
Nice.
knows me knows that I'm just very timid, or you tell me what to do, or I don't necessarily want to, be in charge. But when I put that headset on, I was telling everybody what to do with no shame, no hesitation. It just became a sort of crown to me.
That's awesome. Oh, it's so cool. I love your poetry, girl. Became like a crown.
Maybe I
I
should do
love it.
poetry.
Girl, do it. It's awesome. You wrote for Love Carousel. You did the intros, which was they were very poetic. I remember that.
Thank
That's
you. Yeah,
cool.
I forgot. I almost forgot about that. Yeah. That was so therapeutic because I would put whatever was kind of either a current event or something going on in my life into the episode, and also tie it into the talent we were featuring that day. So, oh my goodness. I actually think I found the USB with some old stuff. I don't know. Yeah.
Really interesting.
But
We should
but
dive into that next visit. Yeah.
oh yeah. Yeah,
I
I'll
enjoy
look for it.
reminiscing about those days. What are a few things, life in general, that you're looking forward to next?
I know it sounds kind of cliche, but Um, like personally speaking, because I'm just open to whatever opportunities I may get, it's the unknown. I used to be afraid of the unknown, but now it's just knowing that like I have such an open mind, a blank slate that I can actually just pick whatever opportunities fit me and I feel are best for my growth. And honestly, my my kids getting older, they're gonna be turning 4 and 13 in August. So
I believe it.
it's such a weird transition because like in a couple of years, or by this time next year, not to get too ahead of myself, I'll have one in kindergarten and one in high school,
Oh,
and
wow. What? High school? It doesn't sound right. Oh my gosh.
I
Did he skip a
know.
grade or something?
I know. No, but he's gonna be in high school, and the son will be in kindergarten. And I look forward to that because it's gonna give me a bit more, you know, because they're more self-sufficient, it'll give me more time to kind of hone my craft. And honestly, I kind of will I have a limited imagination. When you're an adult, you just kind of sort of box yourself in
You
at
almost get
certain
tunnel
points.
vision. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I am looking forward to their imaginations expanding and kind of using that as like a little seedling. I used to do that with Saul when I was doing Love Carousel. We were looking for other ideas, honestly, just to keep a slot at APS.
Yeah.
And I couldn't come up with anything because everything's been done for one.
Yeah. It seems like
Second
it's
of
hard to
all,
find. Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to find originality nowadays. So I was kind of stuck. And then I turned to my son. I'm like, what would you want to see on TV? Or what do you think would look cool on camera? And he had ideas that we kind of messed around with, actually. And that was just one instance. So if I could just kind of keep probing them for certain like ideas, and we could go off of that.
Sounding
And
board, creative
yeah, they're great.
collaboration.
They're a great sounding board, and on a deeper level, they force you to reflect every so often, or they force you to face certain truths that you wouldn't have, I think, come to on your own as quickly. You're faced with a lot of mortality. You're faced with a lot of like,
Yeah.
you know, um, psychology, or you're faced with a lot of trying to do that inner work and then seeing it play out with your kids, seeing how they interact with the world and you and others. And you're just like, wow, okay, I think I might have done something right. Or you look back and you say, I dropped the ball on that one. So, it serves as a lot of inspiration because you realize what was done wrong with you and how now I tend to have a lot of daydreams about, music video ideas or just a short narrative
Yeah.
idea. But
Scary.
they stay stuck here. So that's where I'm kind of trying to actually push myself.
Video journal, audio journal, Google Calendar. I'm on there every day. You should see my bloody calendar. It looks like a clown threw up on it. Um, it just type out ideas.
Yeah.
There's a document I have on my computer. It's a dream journal, and I'm hardly ever in there because I don't always remember my dreams. And sometimes that's a mercy because,
I had the worst nightmare last night. It was just,
oh no.
I don't know where it came from, but I woke up and I was like, the hell was that? Like, where did that come from? That was horrifying.
Have
And
you
it
ever
wasn't
tried?
anybody I knew. So it's just like I woke up like my mind can conjure that up. Okay. And that's one I don't want to write down, but at the same time, I used to write these things down. And then when you look back a few months down the road, you realize, oh, I was going through this or I had this on my mind. And my mind or my subconscious was trying to tell me something about it or trying to,
Extrapolated this.
yeah, trying to make sense of it.
Yeah. I think that, well, supposedly, this is all the research I did years ago and I haven't revisited, but supposedly we dream in 90-minute intervals, and you're supposedly able to set alarms, wake yourself up every 90 minutes, and then try to do some, recording, whatever you can,
That's cool.
audio recording or journaling. You keep a journal next to your bed, just kind of jot down, turn the light on, get back to sleep as soon as you can. It just sets that intention subconsciously that you're paying attention and you want to, it
That's
kind of
cool.
eventually gives you more control of your dreams and things like that. Lucid dreaming kind of can be a gateway for that. So
Yeah, that's the hard part is like sustainability. I strive for that in everything I do, and people are like, oh, why don't you start this? I'm not going to keep up with it. Why don't you do that? I'm not going to keep up with it. So,
yeah.
like, if I start something, I want to see it to the end.
Yes.
And
Yeah, ideally, yes. And yeah.
I mean, I have got like notebook after notebook after notebook after notebook, like barely started a few pages in. So, like, I just need to put it next to
Oh.
my bedside, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess I think it's gonna bite in the middle of the night.
Oh, so what do you consider your art? Filmmaking.
I think my art would be, yes, filmmaking. That's where I eventually want to, no pun intended, project my
Love it.
actual, experience, my narrative, and project people's voices is what I want to do. The people who
Yeah.
have been marginalized and silenced, I
Yes.
want I
That's what
want
this
them to see themselves.
this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. And I think it's just something that's been a passion of mine, whether it's speaking up for children or my family or loved ones that don't get a chance to speak, or at least, giving them an ear. Um, I'd rather be able to have them speak their story themselves than just kind of see it mishandled in the media. And then another huge inspiration of mine, I think my very first like primal art would have been music. I mean I started playing piano whenever I could get my hands on it. Whenever I could reach the keys, I started playing,
I
and
love
I,
that.
I started, dabbling in other instruments. And
It was
when
your
all else
gateway,
fails,
your gateway
yeah,
instrument.
it was my gateway. Oh man, and everything after that, just like
Same.
I couldn't stop.
Oh,
Um,
couldn't be contained.
yeah, and what's interesting is I can't come up with a lot of topics, or I can't come up with scenarios or stories in my own right very much. I can just kind of go off of my past experience. But when I hear a song that, even though it doesn't apply to me, makes me imagine something, that's how I know that that I've truly been inspired is just hearing somebody else's story, hearing somebody else's experience, and being able to imagine, like image, what's the word? Not image, visualize. There you go. Visualize something. Um, I think that's truly powerful. And I think it brings back your title to art is human because it ties us together in a way that we would have never if we didn't have art.
Yeah. We interrupt this program to bring you a recommendation for Hostinger, the platform I've been using lately to build and maintain my websites. If you're in the market to launch your own website, use the link in the comments below to save 20% on a new hosting plan. You'll also be supporting my show with the commission no payment. It'd be a win-win. Use the AI website generator, or if you're more hands-on like me, there are great drag and drop and coding options too. And I've gotta say, it's been pretty smooth sailing with hosting so far. Thanks for your support and for listening. Now, back to the show. So, oh yeah, okay. Is there anything artistic specifically that you've been wanting to get into project-wise? I know you guys made kinetic sand recently, you and Dominic. And then
Yes, it's
that
right
was cool.
behind me.
Purple. It was so pretty. How did
It's
you
somewhat
guys
behind me. There it is.
so
That kinetic sand.
how did you guys make it?
Um,
What was involved? I was curious. I didn't get to ask you when I was listening.
cornstarch,
Cornstarch.
flour,
Right on.
and decorative sand you can get at a certain dollar store. Not trying to name drop.
We're not gonna get see
Yeah,
at the window lurking. Don't you say our name. You owe us a
I
thousand
know.
trillion dollars.
No. So at certain dollar stores, you can treat yourself to a bag of sand. Um, but yeah, no, really, I try to do as much art with the kids as possible because I think it's really for me. It's for my
Art
inner
therapy.
child. Like I think I'm keeping them busy, but then I start, painting
Uh-huh.
with
Uh-huh.
them and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, okay. Okay, little T, little Terry. You needed this. Okay, come on out. It's safe." And uh, you know, uh, this might be off topic, but baking,
Oh,
that was another fun thing, like
it is.
making messes.
It is an art. Yes. Yes.
And
Preach.
and making messes. Just I was talking to my son about it. Like you get to make messes. Like we get to make messes and we'll clean them up. But this is
Life
something
gets
that
messy.
yeah, this is something that I couldn't do as a kid or didn't feel safe doing as a kid or comfortable doing as a kid. And now I'm making all the messes and really enjoying life and sharing this experience with my kids. And to answer the question about what other projects I've got coming up, or what was it? I'm sorry.
Anything artistic you've been wanting to get into but haven't had
Oh,
time
the
to
art that
focus on?
yeah, the art that I've been wanting to get into, actually just today I was trying to play my bass because I hear a lot of songs and all I can hear is the
Yes.
bass line. So I want to get back into it because I've got this massive stage fright when it comes to music. Absolutely
Really?
massive. Like
Really? Talk
I could
about
be
it.
playing and I am enjoying myself grooving, but then if I see another person I just shut down. I don't even know what to do anymore. I like don't even know what I'm holding. Absolutely like just a mental block comes up. So I want to get over that hurdle and be able to jam with others because like that's the whole point of playing playing music for me is to make harmonies with other people. But I just can't. I mean, I can play a part for Saul when he's doing a violin part. When he's playing a violin part, I'll play the cello part briefly for him, but otherwise I can't get over that until
Stage
I
fright.
think I've practiced a little bit more. So that's something I want to actually conquer. So hopefully we'll see the progression in
This is great. This
the
is what
show.
this is all about. That is
Yeah.
really cool. I appreciate you sharing. It's like performance anxiety is really, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I remember singing in church when I was a little girl. I wrote a song called Speak, Lord. I remember getting up there on stage, and my accompaniment, she began playing. It was a guitar, a guitarist who was the preacher's wife, and she started playing. And I was like, I suddenly got like stage fright and froze up, and my face got prickly. And I was like, is it getting hot? Is it just me, or is it getting hot in here? And everybody laughed, and that's when I connected with them, and I was like, okay,
Okay.
on with the show. That's all. We're vulnerable in this
Yeah.
moment, but everyone's laughing with me, not at me. I didn't shut
Yeah.
down, and I kicked it back in. Let's go. And
That's
sang.
awesome.
We'll fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
So yeah, no, I recommend like taking those notebooks that you started and just filling them. I every time I start a new notebook, I start a new notebook and I say until this one is filled up and dies too. I've also started journals with, don't you know it's bad luck to start writing on the first page and then I flip the page and then I start writing.
Really? Is it bad luck or is it just
Made it up.
like a
I just
phrase?
made
Oh,
it up.
no, that would explain a few things. No, and I remember one of my teachers always saying like, "Well, you might as well use it. The tree's already dead." Like, that's sad and macabre, like you mentioned. So I guess
Just
I'm
plant a
like,
tree.
yeah, I'll plant a tree.
That's what I
Hmm.
wanted to get into is get those
Yeah,
journals back out, dust them off, make this journal your dream journal, make this journal your, because that's where ideas can come from. That's a source of
yeah,
ideas. Think of
yeah,
the Tippett, Mad God, this kind of wild abstract stuff. I just like tie into that subconscious.
yeah,
And continue to work through things because art is like you're saying, it's therapy, it's human expression, it's imagination. Be aware of the energy that goes into things when you're creating them. There's this painting behind me that this view can't see, but this camera can see, and it's called it's Euphoria. That's the painting back there. I'll superimpose it on the screen later. I'll show you
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
I painted that
I
because
hope
I
it's this way.
me up. I'm just gonna do like this crudely pasted up in the corner of
There you go.
the. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, no. Sometimes you want to work on what you want to feel. You want to whatever you are creating. You're working through something, or you're working on something because that's how you want to feel. That energy is transferred. So that's something to be mindful of. Energy is,
Yeah.
powerful.
And a lot of the stuff that's evoked out of me, whether it's seeing an art piece or seeing or
I'm so
hearing a
jealous.
song or seeing, the way my kids interact with people, a
Yeah,
lot of the
yeah,
stuff that's evoked from me is more often than not, it's going to be like the bad stuff that I didn't get to process. Sometimes it's great, it's good feelings, optimistic feelings and hope, which I do want to get
beautiful.
on screen as well. But it is that it's a tightrope because for me, I'm so like closed off. I'm not the type that's all,
Get it.
touchy feely, emotional.
It's
Um,
okay.
I mean, we've been friends for 5 years and hugged maybe twice. And
All the other hugs are. It's everyone has their own love language.
yeah, yeah, and so what's evoked out of me is a lot of the stuff that I hadn't processed, and it's a little scary for me to put it out there in the world, and I think that's
Yeah,
the final
that's yeah,
boss.
yes. Oh my
It
gosh.
It is like, like it's like, okay, finally, I got the logistics out of the way. I've got camera, I got crew, I got money, I got, everything I could want. Now, do I really want to put it out there? Because then that means everybody knows how I feel about a certain way, or it's open to interpretation. And I hate being interpreted the wrong way, but that's
Yeah,
kind of the cross to bear when you put your art out there
it is.
and
Well, everyone's going to be viewing the art through the lens of their own
their
experience.
own,
But I've been learning that what other people think of you, their opinion of you, is their business and not your business.
yeah,
All you can do is live your
yeah.
truth and live your life. And there's this really great one I came across here. I wouldn't say it's a meme. It's something else entirely. Um, Here it is. Let whoever think whatever. Just keep getting better.
I like that.
Yeah. So I don't know who did the art for that, but thank you for doing so.
Right?
Yeah, continue coming up with ideas whenever you get the chance. Use your phone to audio record, like text yourself. Like just don't wait to find. If you can't find a pen and paper around, just grab that phone, start
Yeah, I'm too old.
recording. Yeah,
I'm old fashioned. So I
but
gotta,
keep a
I've
journal.
got the tech. I just need to use it.
Well, we are winding down to a close here. Are there any last thoughts or things we should be looking out for?
Any last thoughts? Anything we should look out for? Look out for me, world.
Look out for me. Well, follow Theresa on she's Radioactive Poltergeist on
Yeah.
Insta. And
I'll take guesses as to where the name came from.
it's a different answer
Comment
every time.
below. I'm not comfortable. No, I'm totally comfortable. Like it's fun. It's one of those things that this is my first one, so I'm probably gonna look back on this and cringe. Mark my words.
Everybody feels that way though. You just got to start putting things out there. I think that's the lesson to be learned
Yeah.
is if you don't start now, will you ever start? Every journey begins with a single step. And this was my single step this evening, getting this podcast off the ground. So thank you for being that person.
Thank you for having me.
Many will answer, a few will win. No.
No purchase necessary.
Text, tag, and title not included. It was so great talking to you, Theresa. Thank you so much for your time. Folks, follow her on social media. She posts the funnest stuff. I love following her updates. I always laugh or smile or it's just awesome. Just put the work out there,
Laugh, you'll
folks.
cry.
Have a good night.
For your convenience, here are some of the main points we covered on this episode. Be open and never stop seeking opportunities to improve. Network during the slow times and be open to the possibilities. The unknown. Most are afraid of it, but it can actually be an exciting blank slate. Pick and choose what works for you as you turn the page to your new chapter. It's surprising where inspiration can come from. Even our kids can be our collaborators and sounding boards. Let others in and challenge your solo dynamic. Stories are powerful and can be some of the greatest inspirations. Art can tie us together, and art can also be cathartic. Messes are okay to make and can be cleaned up. Life goes on. Make all the messes and enjoy life. Open up and share life with the ones you love. Put the work out there. It's none of our business what others think of us. Everyone will be viewing our work through the lens of their own experiences. If you can't find a pen and paper, start recording with your phone so you don't miss out on capturing ideas. And don't get analysis paralysis. Every journey begins with a single step.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe, share, and engage with us on social media so we can continue making great content. And if you think anyone would enjoy being the next interviewee, feel free to share the show with them. If you would appreciate the perspective of an award-winning brand designer, a fine artist whose work has been featured in galleries from coast to coast in the United States, a recording artist and singer-songwriter, a cult classic comic book creator, and a filmmaker with credits on projects with industry giants like Paramount, Visa, the BBC, and more, I would love to work with you. Book a consultation today, and let's find out what your art is. Mental Health Minute. Folks, when we have a bad day, we start to feel like we're in this downward spiral. Here's how we can look at it instead. Life is like a heartbeat. It has ups and downs, ups and downs. That's how we know we're alive. If you could also consider with me here, in mathematics, how there you have a line called array. I'm tending to look at life like this lately. There's this ray, and it's this single line, but it branches off into these other rays, these other lines that extend off, and each one of those has a little line, and they just all extend into infinity. If you're thinking that there's only one possibility, there's not. There's infinite possibilities. I don't want to get into string theory right now. This is Mental Health Minute, not several minutes. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Challenge the parameters of your reality.